All right, I'm gonna come today with a product review update on this little Vevor chainsaw here. For 80 bucks, it's well worth the money so far. I've only run it today, and I got here about 6:30. It's 9 o'clock. No, I have not run it for 2.5 hours straight, but I have used it a whole lot. When I come in on the trail, there was a bunch of trees and all. You can see those where I cut them down, had to get it out. Look sort of like this. This is the trail. This place is thick, needs thinning, and I just come in and cleaning it out. And I come in here, gonna make some shooting lanes for this customer. It's hard to tell, but right up through there, it don't show up good on camera, but I got to get it cleaned out because there's, the stuff I just got done cutting it. There's a trail up through there. The road goes around through there, and I just come cut all this. We're going to put a shooting house right here, and right up through here, we're going to have shooting lanes and all. One going there, one going through there. We're going to cut that pine, that pine, that pine, and that pine. Probably going to cut this one, that, and these couple right here. They're not of real great quality. They got split tops, they're crooked, been hit, scarred up, all that kind of stuff, low quality. But yeah, that's what we're doing, and this saw is doing a good job. I'm gonna say it's ran at least an hour. Out of 2.5 hours, it has run at least an hour, maybe more than that. Like I said, it took me probably 30 minutes to get in here riding a trail, and cutting stuff like that. I'd get off and get that stuff out the way and all too, because I'm opening the trails back up for them and all. All of this here fell over in the trail. It was up there too. You can see the pine trees and stuff, but it done real good, and it's a very fast and strong tree. I'm gonna tell you, it's well worth the money. This here pine is rotten, and cut it. Now this is southern yellow pine, cut good. This is a water oak right here. It did real good on it too. You can't get it over aggressive with what you're cutting, but it does way better than I thought, and it's way lighter. I just use one hand. As you can tell, this sweet gum, it does real good. I just come in, cut it up so we can move it out the way. But you can see how big that is. It cut it off, no problem. Cut me a little hinge cut, just sort of shoved it over. Here's a bigger one. I come in and I cut them all off up high, these trees, because none of this stuff is merchantable or anything. But that's what I did here. I cut it off up there. Once I got it down, I cut it up there so it'd be sort of out the way. Cut it off at the stump. That's a pretty good size chunk there. That's 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches. There was another good one over here. Right here was a good one. It cut. Just done a real good job. Yeah, here's this. I don't think anything real big was down here, but yeah, that's the plan. We're going to get it all cleaned up some more and get all the brush shoved over, and I'm thinking about crossing over and cutting a few of that stuff. They want me to come in and sort of lightly thin their place a little too over the years. They ain't got many acres here. This is they got about 20-30 acres here, and it's a lot of stuff like that, and they're more concerned with hunting. They don't want no big logging operation in here, nothing really. I'm gonna come back, cut like all that little stuff. But I about had enough for one day. I got something else I gotta go do. Yeah, here's that sycamore. I mean, not a sycamore. Yeah, American sycamore. Cut it. You know, they look like that right there. Got the big old leaves on it. They're pretty. I hate to cut it down. There's a pretty good size one. I really don't want to cut no more than I got to down, but I did. I was just cutting up there. It leaned over. I didn't cut enough, a big enough mouth in it and all for my hinge, and it leaned over right over there. You can see the top of it, and I just chopped it up. That's an old dead pine or something from when they logged in here before years ago. But if I get help, we'll come in by hand and clean up all this. I was supposed to have help today. They didn't show up, of course. But if not, I may just bring my little tractor over here and clean up a lot of this. But we're probably gonna cut this big pine out. I can actually get some little bit of lumber out of it, and then cut that one out. It ain't that great of quality anyway. And then pretty sure we're gonna cut that little one and that one. And I don't know if we'll cut that one or not. May not. I may cut that one over there. And like I said, the others on the other side of the row. But as you can tell, they're dying. They're so thick in here. They're just dying. And I told him, building shoot houses and all, I was like, yeah. I said, if you don't care, I'll come over here once or twice a year, and if I don't have nothing else, you know, and cut down stuff like this. It'll make good 2x4s, 2x6s and all, and help thin him out a little bit. Do it around his grass patches really, and you know, work on the other a little alone. They're good people. We do their deer and all. But yeah, looks real good. Got to come back and cut them stobs off like that. But like I said, I come in here to get this done. I've been here 2.5 hours. That's what I'm gonna charge him for today. And they ought to be able to kill a deer in here. I tried to get them to put a deer stand in here last year, and they didn't want to come all the way back here, so we put it up in another part. But I'm probably going to eventually come in and thin out a lot of this little stuff in here and get it where they can see like that tree. It's hard to see on camera, but it's split right there. I mean, there ain't nothing you can really get out of it. You get an 8-foot log out of it, that'll be about it. Maybe an 8-foot. It may not even be 8 feet, but it probably is. You can probably get it up to that split. But I give them a little money. They pay me to come do this, and I'll come back in here and scale this, or we'll trade out. You know, I ain't saying. Probably what I'll do is I'm gonna have to bring a little tractor over here anyway, and I'll cut down these trees, drag them out, scale them, and just knock it off their bill. Which they're getting a shoot house from me. We're gonna build a shoot house, bring it, set it up for them and all that. But it ain't like I'm gonna get that much logs and lumber out of here this year, because I went and did that big job, and I got enough really. But these I got to take down, so I'll help them out. Anything I have to take down, I'll just buy from them, you know. But anyways, as far as that Vevor, I mean, it did good. That pine logs over there was sort of rotten, but these are pretty fresh. It cut it real good. Tops and all broke out. That's the problem. Limb broke off of that one. Top broke out of that one. That's what I'm saying. I'll get my big saw. I just brought my little saw in here, but I'll get my big saw and come in and cut down all this big stuff. I'll probably cut this down. I'm gonna have that, and I may try to clear out right up through there, cut down a bunch of that little junk that don't matter. Have them several trails so they can see up through here and all anyways, which in the wintertime when all the leaves die, it'll look real good. But anyways, yeah, there's a ditch right here too. I didn't think to say that. There's a ditch running right there, and it runs all the way up through there about where I quit cutting. I do gotta get on the other side of the ditch and finish making their trail all the way around for them, so they can drive through with on 4-wheelers or side-by-sides or whatnot. But that'll be later on. I told them I'd work on it a couple hours a day. You know, I figured it'd take 40, 50 hours to get everything done that they wanted. 2.5 here, I can come back. Like I said, if I get help, I'll have the help come in and clean up a lot of this and help me. If I don't get no help, I'll probably just take a tractor, shove it up. But I won't come back here for probably a week. I'm gonna go around on the other side and start making a trail over there. But this little Vevor, I'd buy it. I wish I was sponsored by Vevor. I got a lot of their stuff. They do good and they're cheap. Now, am I saying use this as a commercial? No. If you're a homeowner and you're cutting 6-8 inch stuff, you know, cleaning limbs up around your place and all that, get it, use it. The other thing I like about it is you can buy these chains here. I think I bought 4 of them and they was 15 or 20 bucks. And man, I'm not sharpening them things. This one over here, this is the one that come on it. It ain't even dull, but it jumped off and bound up and it messed a tooth up there. I may try to get it and sharpen it. Probably not. I mean, they're like $5 a piece. It really ain't worth my time. That one wasn't dull. It just jumped off and jammed up. I'd have still been using the same one. And that's the only thing about it is the chain will jump off on you. I've had it jump off on me 2 or 3 times. It'll be just this tight and it'll just pinch up and jump off. But I don't know if all topping saws are that way, but this one does. It's not a deal breaker. It's not like it's so much. I mean, like I said, I've been out here 2.5 hours. It jumped off a couple times, so take that for what it is. But anyways, we'll see you on the next video. I'll come back whenever and give you an update on this, probably show what we did and how it's cleaned up and all. But see you on the next one. Bye, Vevor.